All right, so moving right along, I invited one of my dear friends. His name is Erik, Mr. Awesome Swanson. I know he's up there hanging out in Park City. What you need to
Yeah,
know about Erik, he is a 13-time best-selling author, a international motivational speaker, and pre-COVID ran some of the greatest events that we have seen,
amazing.
the Habitude Warrior events, and
Yep.
so I got to know Erik years and years ago, and we've been good friends since. Erik, welcome to our podcast. How are you this morning?
Good morning. What's happening? I'm taking notes already, man. You should see all these notes. Well, I only have two, but the first one is sell my cars, and the second one is sell my boats. I got it. I'm all set now. Thank you for that. That was a great segment.
Well, the
Yeah,
real
two
rule
best
is
days.
is when you're buying a home, don't buy a car and don't buy a boat.
No, I totally get it. And I have a PS. Mike, I need the water heater fixed in one of the properties I'm renting from you. If you can help me with that, that'd be
Yeah,
great. Thank you, sir.
I've got my toolbox in the car, and I'll
Overalls.
be right up there. All right,
I
Erik.
need it done on Easter Sunday and on Thanksgiving. Those are the two dates I'm available for you to come over to
All
fix my
right.
heater.
So anyway, so we are here
And
to.
that's the show, ladies and gentlemen. Take
That's it.
care.
That's it. That's it. Mic drop. There you go. All right, so we're having you on. You've released a your new book series, and you got a ton of books out there. But I read the first one in the Principles of David and Goliath series, an incredible mindset book. But I wanted to start off right away. I think what people naturally assume when they see that title that this is a religious book and has nothing to do about business and helping me become a better salesperson.
Right, yeah. Oh, I love what you said. Two things about that. First, I'll go backwards. Not a great salesperson, but more of a great server of service, right? Because I'm just like you, Mike, that I don't want to sell. I don't want to sell anyone. I don't want to teach people how to sell. That was like when I started with Brian Tracy 25 years ago. We learned everything on how to close people, how to sell, how to sell, how to sell. And now it's like how to serve, right? And that's why I love your mentality of what you guys are doing on this show every show. But yes, you're absolutely right. There is a biblical, obviously, the story of David and Goliath, right? Everyone knows it from biblical times, whether you're spiritual, religious, or not. Everyone's heard of the story. And to clear it up, you are absolutely right. We don't dive into the religious part or spiritual part. This is all about building the mindset, building the action steps, building the strategies, to just like what your show is all about, to help people elevate, to go to the next level, to beat their what we call the Goliaths in our lives, right? Which is the obstacles. So you're absolutely right.
So I think and I mean for all of us, we all have an array of Goliaths in our lives, whether they're personal, whether they're history. But I think right now, and kind of what we've been talking about, throughout the entire podcast this morning, one of the biggest Goliaths that we are all facing as real estate agents is the market.
Mm.
It's interest rates are high, so buyers aren't buying. Interest rates are high, so sellers aren't selling. There's this idea of this impending recession, and so buyers aren't jumping into the game. And at the end of the day, as a real estate agent, I'm trying to help people buy and sell. And if people won't buy and sell because of their conceptions or even misconceptions of the market, then I'm out of business. So I think that's one of the biggest Goliaths that we have as real estate agents. So kind of tell us a little bit about the book series and respond to that Goliath.
Yeah, really, really great question. Thank you. You got that question correct, Mike. So, by the way, I like to joke around. Hopefully, you guys are smiling over there. I don't know. You guys look like little tiny
Well,
icons.
when the jokes
Yeah.
become funny, you'll get a better response.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, I'm gonna
A
write a little
solo
note.
preview.
I'm gonna write a note that says sarcasm and then laugh. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So just playing around. But yeah. So really great question. And I'll go backwards again on the answer. A friend of mine who I shared this, I was so fortunate and to have the opportunity to share a stage with this gentleman before he passed. He had taught the world that there's always going to be these seasons, these what's called a sigmoid curve. These seasons that go up and down, and you and I have talked many times. We've known each other for what, 15 years now or something? I don't know,
Something like
12
that.
years, something like
It's
that.
like dog years with you, pal. Every year
That's
is
right.
like
Yeah,
knowing you for 7.
that's right. The one soundbite that came out of this whole thing is, "Oh, I'm a dog." Okay, so it's true though. Like 7. I mean, what, 10, 12 years. We've been talking about this. It comes down to what? It comes down to your mindset. And it's we as a human race, we as a collective group of if you live in the US, and you're a realtor in the US, we collectively build the market the way we need to build the market. So it's amazing. It's all about education. Getting back to my story before, though, a friend of mine that I had the pleasure of working with, he'd always told me, stay in the pocket, keep your mindset. It's all about you and building your mindset and your attitude, no matter what happens out there in the marketplace, or no matter what happens on Monday versus Friday, right? I mean, you could take the whole year, you could take put that section into a week, a month, a year, a 5-year period, right? And that gentleman is Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn used to talk to me about this, where it's all about staying in the mindset. And what I like to look at it is keeping yourself in the pocket. So if you're sports, I know you're really into sports, Mike. I know you're not good at it, but you're good at watching it. And and if you're going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL in the world, then you want to stay in the pocket and trust your defenders, right? And that means you got a great center, and they snap the ball and you've got the ball. It doesn't mean go, oh my God, the interest rates, oh my God, these are happening, oh my God, nobody's buying, oh my God, COVID, this and that. And you run off to the other side and you get sacked, you get tackled. Instead, trust your people in front of you. Trust the Nick, the Todds, the Matts, the people that you have on the show, right? Trust your linebackers of awesomeness. Ooh, I'm gonna write that down. Hold on one second. That was good. All right. So trust your linebacker of. You like the way I take notes and then I throw it? And I
Yeah,
go,
I do.
okay.
Yeah.
So trust your linebackers of awesomeness, and stay in the pocket. Stop jumping. You know what I see a lot of? Like, this is so funny how I'll bring this up. I've been working in this industry, self-development, for 25 years. I should have started before, right? It's self-development, right? It's developing yourself, right? And I'm older than 25. But anyway, I've been in the industry for 25 years. And I've noticed that I'll go to a city for, one year, let's say, and then 2 years later, I'll come back to that city, work with those agents again. Then 2 years later, I'll go back to the city. So I go to Boston, obviously Scottsdale and Phoenix area, San Francisco, San Diego, you name it, every city, Toronto, any city. And what I've noticed, though, is the agents who are super successful because of their mindset, they stay in the pocket and they don't allow the Goliaths, those obstacles, to affect them mentally, and they keep on persevering. And the flip side, Mike, is that I notice, I go back and I see Jim and Sally and I don't know, name some more names, and I see them,
Tom and Larry.
yeah, Tom, and yeah, I really want to meet a Peter, Paul, and Mary. I think I met them once in the line one time. Anyway, so the point is, though, you see these people, and I see them again. I'll go, hey Tom, good to see you again. Oh my gosh. And I look at the sign, I go, you're at a different real estate agency now. Interesting. Or gosh, you're totally in a different industry. We're in mortgage now, or we're in insurance, or we're in whatever, And it's like they don't stay in the pocket of what is amazing in front of them. Do you follow
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I think for me, and I want to get into it because I think, I mean, you use a lot of analogies about football, and it's one of the things that I love about what head coaches say is just trust the systems or
Mhm.
trust the process.
Yeah.
But before you can trust the system and trust the process, because you have to have the systems, you have to have the processes, and if you don't, you got to get them, and then where do you get them from? But going back to the book series is one of the things that when I go to church, um, when I go to church, and the pastor's going to talk about overcoming this and overcoming this, and he'll say, "You just got to have faith." And I'm like, "Okay, well, what does that mean? Like, that doesn't help me. Like, what are the step-by-step processes?" So, when we're talking about overcoming the Goliaths in our lives, and you're talking about having that right mindset, how do if we're not there yet, how do we begin to do that?
That's awesome.
Yeah, great question. Great question. So as you were asking the question, I was taking a little sip of my green iced tea, and I noticed having faith or believing in oneself. Right? I have the secret to success, by the way, and I'll give that to you just towards the end of right towards the end of the hour here. I'll give you the secret to success. Okay, but but the point is, I was taking a sip of my iced tea here, and I noticed something, and it's a reminder. And I believe faith and confidence and attitude and all these things are really reminders. And here's a reminder. I don't know if you can see it.
I can
It
see
says,
it.
"Be awesome." It just says, "Be awesome." And notice where I put it, by the way, because this is my position now. Ever since, thank you God for COVID, that was great. Ever since the pandemic, I was like, oh, you know what? I could just do this from the screen. So thank God for Zoom. Who created Zoom?
Who would have thought?
So can you imagine if Zoom wasn't here? I mean, oh, we're not even on Zoom. Sorry, webinar. Okay. So the point is, sorry, shout out to the wrong sponsor. Just kidding. So the point is though, and by the way, to answer your question, if you're thinking, is this guy always like this? Yes, I
Yes,
am.
he is.
So
Yes,
the
he
point
is.
like I put this sign, this reminder, "Be awesome," and I wrote it. That's my handwriting, and I just put it on a sticker, right? And it's not on this side, it's on this side, because I want to see it literally when I'm talking to people. I want to remind myself, because that's usually when I need it. Usually when I need it, I need it in the mirror. Okay, let's say, oh, good job, mic drop, or that was I don't know if that was a dunk. I don't know what you're doing there. So can you imagine that was
You get an extra point for that one. That was a good one.
So it's like when I'm brushing my teeth and I'm having a conversation with myself in the mirror, and literally I'll have a sip of, well, not when I'm brushing my teeth and I don't drink iced tea anyway, but the point is though, this is in the mirror as well, and it's showing to me, look, you are awesome, be the person that you want to be. So to answer your other portion of the question, it's the way I look at this is everyone's in the same boat, right? Even though I have to sell my own boat, you told me everyone's in the same boat. Everyone's in the same atmosphere, same market. You can call it a market if you're an agent. So the difference between a super successful, high functioning, my mentor Brian Tracy used to talk about that all the time. The high functioning individual that you and I both know, Mike, you and I are, well, I am, and you try to be. Yeah. So
I'm sub awesome. So I need
awesome.
I need a bigger sticker on my coffee cup.
Dude, you should see when I was listening to you guys earlier, I text your wife, which that sounds funny all in its own, but here it is, and it says, "Can I just tell you, Mike is brilliant. I'm listening to this guy on his show before he come on."
All right, keep it going.
Wow. I promise. Look, there it is. I just text her. She'll show you. So you
And
guys,
I notice it's the same thing when I text her. You got nothing back.
yeah. No, she says, "Help, save me." I don't know what that means. All right. So the point is though, look, guys, if you're just tuning in, which why would you be? You've been here for years and years with Mike and the team. But if you're just tuning in, look, Mike brings me on for a reason, right? You bring me on for a reason. You don't bring me on to talk about interest rates, talk about how to deal with this thing or that thing. You bring me on because of attitude, because of mindset.
Yep.
And that's really what it comes down to. It comes down to, like, if you see the screen here, and here, if you don't want to look at the screen, look at my screen. Look at this, look, what? And it's amazing. This is the latest one right here, the book, the Principles of David and Goliath, on action and implementation. So if you notice, the first book is on mindset. You got to have the mindset. You got to have the awesomeness. And how do you find the mindset? Well, find it. Find it from people like Mike and the team. Find it from masterminds. I run a mastermind. Find a mastermind that will help you to up level your mindset on a consistent basis. And then take the shower every day, or take the bath every day. Zig used to tell us that, like a shower is great only if you use it. Like, you got to take a shower every time, because it helps you. It helps you be in control of your everyday occurrence. So mindset's really, really key. Number two is strategy and goals. So you can have all the mindset in the world, but if you don't have actually a goal set in mind and written down and someone to help you get to that and achieve that, and that's what you guys are. You're the embodiment of the strategy and goal methods right here in this show. And then the third book that came out just recently, number one on all of them, yes, props. I will hand myself a prop there. This one's on action and implementation. So it's not enough having the strategy and having the mindset.
Yeah.
You got to actually take action, right? Because a buddy of mine used to say, well, The Secret that came out years ago, the book, and Wishing Upon a Star. Well, if a friend of mine says, I could be hungry right now. I could be like, I want a pizza. I'm thinking of a pizza. But if you don't actually get up, get your phone, get DoorDash, and get your pizza over there, then you're not going to have a pizza, right? So you got to take the action. So I don't know if that answered your question. I'm from Washington D.C. Was that the question? What was the question?
I think you've nailed it. I mean,
That was good.
okay, mindset's mindset. I think that the biggest Goliath that, and I've done a lot of, and I know Todd and Nick, the same thing. We've done so much mentoring and training and coaching real estate agents over the years. And it's the Goliath to me is the same. It's not the market, and it's not those exterior, things out there that are impacting us. The Goliath is always within. It's that it's we're told what the action is. We're told what to implement it is. We just don't do it.
Self-limitations.
In case in point, it's prospecting. You have to be in our business. You have to be picking up your phone every day and prospecting. That is the action. That and the implementation is scheduling it in your calendar. And but we just don't. And Eric, you don't, you're not as familiar with our industry. Our struggle on the corporate side is real estate agents are 1099 employees. So they're not W-2'd. So we can't we can't require, we can't expect. We can just provide. Here's the framework. Here's your plan of action. Here are the things that you need to do. Here are the mastermind groups that you can attend. But at the end of the day, it's on you.
Yeah, lead the horse to water. Yeah. Wouldn't it be cool if you changed that saying, lead the horse to wine or something, or lead the horse to
To a
margaritas?
burger. Lead a horse to a burger. Yeah.
Burger and yeah, exactly. Everyone would be there. You bring up really great points. I want to address a few of them. One thing is about I'm not in your industry, but I've been training your industry for 25 years now. So your industry is no different than most industries out there. It's a self-employed entrepreneur building a business through a certain product and service, and you guys have all of that. So all it comes down to, again, when I'm talking to financial advisors, to real estate agents, to commercial agents, to you name it, speakers, to authors, best-selling authors, the whole thing is the principle is the same. And like you said, it's mindset, but it's also prospecting. It's getting off the couch. Not that everyone's on the couch. They're probably at movies right now, right? No, just kidding. So it's getting off, and I've noticed that the cream of the crop, is that what the saying is? I think you'll notice that there's always, I could go into any industry and say, oh, tell me how many agents you have. And they would say, well, I've got 100, or I've got 1,000, or I've got 10,000, or I've got 10. Let's just go with 10. I'm brand new, I got 10. I go, let me guess. You have one or two that are like spanking brand new. They don't have business cards yet. You got one or two or three that are knocking it out of the park. And then the rest of the 6 or 7, if my math is off, are right in the middle, right? Yes, that's correct. like it's so correct. Now you guys are a little different. Because you're changing that sigmoid curve. That the sigmoid curve is a combination of the learning curve as well as the experience curve as well as the market. So it's putting all three of those into play. But to address your prospecting idea, it's a very interesting thought if people don't think they can get out there and meet people. Our job it's like politicians, right? You got to meet people. You got to don't shake the baby. Kiss the baby. Kiss the baby and shake hands. Right? You gotta get out there. You got to meet people. I've got a technique I'll share with you guys right now, and it's in one of my books. Go get my books, by the way. It's really cool. So one of Barnes and Noble or anywhere else. So one of the techniques is the what the heck calls. I do what the heck calls all the time, every day. Okay, Monday through Friday, what the heck calls. And all it is I write down 3 names of people that I'm going to call that day, that next day. Okay, so I write it down the night before. And I'll just make those calls. And you know what's interesting is if you call somebody, I just did this with my buddy Dan the other day, yesterday. And the interesting part is they're always like, oh, what's up, Eric? Hey, what can I do? Their constant normal thing to say is, what's going on after the niceties, the niceties. Hey, how are you? What's going on? Da da da. Weather's great. Oh, it's 4 degrees out in Park City. Excellent. I hope you're living out there fine. I'm in 75-degree weather. Great. The niceties are over. Then they say, so what's up? What can I do for you? Or what do you call me for? And your answer is, oh no, nothing. That was it. I just wanted to hear your voice, man. I just wanted to check in. I just want to say hi. And don't say what the heck, okay, to them, but it is the what the heck calls. And then they're like, wow, that's awesome. And then, what I noticed about myself, and you could do the same thing, all of you listening, I noticed that every time I make a phone call, anytime and every time, whoever it is, no matter what, they always answer the phone now for me. Because I've trained them, right? And I want to talk about training kids, by the way. So if we have one more minute, I'll share that. But it's oh, by the way, it's so cold out here. I'm in Park City, Utah, my home up here, and it's so cold. My iPhone was cold, so I got it a little puffy jacket. It's it's puffy. Awesome. It's awesome. Okay, so the point is the what the heck calls are critical, right? They're so critical. By the way, I want to interrupt and say something. So Mike, I don't know, you just took a sip of your water or something with the white
coffee.
Container. You have that
coffee, okay. As far as you know.
Yeah. So what's in it? Proper 12 by Conor McGregor. Okay. So what's in there is my question. What's on the side? Maybe it's a sponsor, maybe it's yours, which is great. Your company. But put something else, grab a little Sharpie, you got a Sharpie, just write down, I am awesome, or I'm changing lives, or whatever you want to put down, right? Kindness, you could put the word there, or gratitude, right? Just write it on there. So every time you take a sip, now it's a reminder that you are awesome and you're helping the world, right?
Hey,
so
Eric,
anyway,
can I ask a quick question? So to the what the heck calls,
yeah.
From an average agent's perspective, say the 5 to 6 in your earlier explanation, they're the ones that won't make the phone calls because they think there has to be some kind of mental strategy behind picking up the phone, that you've got to talk about real estate, that you've got to have all these. So, and what they're teaching people is don't pick up the phone, because every time Todd calls, it's going to be because he wants to talk about real estate and see if I know a buyer or seller. Instead, do the opposite. Come from contribution. Come from the perspective of, hey, I'm just dialing the phone. I got no idea what's going to happen. I'm just going to talk to this person today. So is that kind of the concept of walking through that?
That is, and I've got some examples of that as well. Thank you for asking that. That's awesome. By the way, Mike, you should just take the Sharpie and just write on his shirt, because it's white, and write on his shirt.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, Mike is awesome.
Yeah, there you go.
So, can you imagine?
Yeah, I could. I can imagine exactly what will happen.
Yeah.
So really,
my wife will call his wife, and then he won't do it anymore.
Oh,
my wife won't answer.
Really great point. So to address the point, here's what I do. I have a couple strategies. Okay, they call tricks or techniques.
We do have just about 5 minutes. I want to make sure we're all on the clock here.
Yeah, no worries. So what I do is this. What I'll do on the what the heck calls is, let's say I'm driving down somewhere, and I see like a really cool donut shop or a really cool pizza. I think I did this with Mike the other day. I was like, oh man, this great Chicago style pizza and Lou Malinotti's or something, and I just called him. I said, hey man, just thinking about you, thinking about how many pizzas you can eat in one day. And he's like, what? And makes him laugh. Then I say, hey dude, I gotta go. Talk to you later. All right, bye. So now he's accustomed to me calling him, and he's like, oh, I feel, what happens to him right after that phone call, like we finish the call, he's smiling. He's like, that Eric, he's crazy. Oh,
and then
wow.
I get hungry.
Yeah, I feel great. Forget the hunger. I feel great when he calls. That's the thing. It's like dating, right? What do you want to do on a first date? Is you want a second date. So you want to make sure that they go home and you drop them off and you walk them to the door and they go inside and they say, wow, I had a great time. I want to go on a second date. So that's really critical. And then here's another technique, and I know we're short on time. Another technique is this. I always say, I've been doing this recently. I always say, I text them first. I go, hey, are your ears ringing? And you know the saying, are your ears ringing? They're like, somebody's talking about me. And then they'll say, why? And I'll either text them or I'll call them. I'll say, oh, I was just thinking about you, you know. And you don't have to talk about somebody else talking about them. I was thinking about them, my mind and myself. I was thinking about them, so I wanted to honor them by saying hello, saying hi. And another thing, just to wrap that portion up, is find out things about your potential clients or your clients that they love. You know, they love ice skating, or their kids are into whatever, or you know, they like, I don't know, whatever, chocolate. I don't, just pick anything and just text them every now and then. Don't do it every day or every week, but text them every now and then, or send them a message or voicemail, and let them know, hey, I was just passing this really cool Godiva shop, and hey, have you ever had a Ghirardelli chocolate? Next time I'm in San Francisco, I'm sending you some. And they're like, cool, this is so awesome. My agent's not an agent. He's a human being, or she's a human being, and she's there for me, or he's there for me. So,
all right. So, secret to success, you're going to give it to us.
Yes. I'm giving it to you right on the first minute of the next hour. I'm just kidding. Here it is. It's a one word. It starts with a C. It's got like 10 letters in it. I don't know how to spell it. It's confidence. Confidence is the secret to success in so many different ways, and that's what this whole series is all about. By the way, these 3 books, it's all about building your confidence and knowing that, look, that we are in an even playing field. Again, as a real estate agent, you're in an even playing field, and you can do circles around people who've been in the industry for years because of you being a confident person, being in charge of your human habits.
All right, there. We gotta. All right, I do need to wrap it up, because I know if I don't, you'll keep going and going.
No
You're
way,
like the
man.
Energizer Bunny. But there are Erik's latest 3 books, the Principles of David and Goliath series. And what you don't know about the books is a lot of it are just stories and contributions from other people in the sales industry or in the professional world. So you learn a lot of great insight of where other people have overcome their Goliaths and implemented plans and really achieved success, starting from mindset to goals to implementation. So definitely I encourage you to go on Amazon. You just type in Principles of David and Goliath and they'll pop up Erik. And if you want to learn more about Erik, his website there is on the screen, speakererikswanson.com. Erik, we need to chat. I've got an idea for us.
Oh, good. They can also go to the Principles of David and Goliath. That brings them to a landing page where they'll have links for Barnes & Noble or Amazon or whatever, but there's gifts in that link as well. So that's the key to go to.
All right. And I think we messaged that out to everybody. So everybody did get that link. So Erik, appreciate it as always. Love you, brother. And we leave you with the quote of the day, Harper Lee. Many receive advice, only the wise profit from it. Appreciate everybody joining us today. Go out and sell a home.
Thanks, guys.